Alright, let's get right into it. So we got UFC Apex 100 this Saturday. Should be pretty good overall. Not the most big names on it, but we got some good stylistic matchups, some good fights on it. So first we got Tresean Gore versus Antonio Trucoli. Tresean Gore is gonna open up at minus 198 over Antonio Trucoli. Neither of these guys are very good at all. Combined 1-3 in the UFC. Trucoli just got hammered by Magomedov. Absolutely gassed out even the first round. Looked like a zombie, just got smacked up, and it still took a while to knock him out. And then Tresean Gore, he's just not very good either. So he actually lost to Cody Garbrandt, first round KO. So this isn't gonna be the highest level fight, but it could be fun. Antonio Trucoli took that fight against Putin on super short notice. He looked awful in it, but he has some striking skills. There were points where he was outstriking Magomedov. Definitely has more danger than Shara did, but Tresean Gore has some power in his hands too. Neither of these guys are very good, so really it's anyone's fight. I'm not sure why Gore is like such a definite favorite. Just whoever's better on the night's gonna get it, but I think I'm gonna go with Trucoli. I think he has better potential to clinch up, maybe even throw in some grappling. So I'm gonna go with Trucoli by 29-28 decision in a pretty boring fight. All right, next up we got Gaston Bolanos versus Cortavius Romius. Bolanos is coming off a pretty nasty TKO loss to Marcus Magny. Marcus Magny is good. He smoked him in that fight, but Bolanos isn't that bad. He's your average bantamweight striker. Pretty good, but nothing special. Romius coming off a Contender Series win. Yeah, he's definitely faster than Bolanos, younger. Bolanos looks slow against Magny, but he's a fun fighter. He gets in there, he goes for exchanges, he has good heart. Romius looked pretty good on the ground, but definitely gonna keep this one in the striking, I'm sure. Romius is definitely faster, should be able to get the better of most exchanges. So I'm gonna go with Romius by a late round TKO or decision. All right, sweet. Next we got Cody Stamann versus Damon Blackshear, some more bantamweights. Stamann is 34, coming off 2 losses. He hasn't won a fight in almost 2 years. Damon Blackshear is a big favorite, minus 285. So Blackshear's a little younger, he's 30. He's also coming off 2 losses. His last one, 18-second TKO loss against Montel Jackson. It was a nasty one. Big straight left, put him down bad. Blackshear has decent takedowns, good jiu-jitsu. I know he had that twister finish a year or 2 ago, really good. Stamann has decent takedown defense, but I think overall it's going to be a stand-up fight. I think Stamann's too good in the wrestling for Blackshear to really work his grappling in this one. I got Blackshear by TKO though. Blackshear's just a lot quicker, a bit more technical, younger, more explosive. Tends to work out better for them in the striking. So I'm going to give this one to Blackshear by TKO. All right, next we got Matthew Simmelsberger versus Charles Radke. Got Radke as a slight favorite, minus 162. Radke's coming off that nasty highlight knee finish against Prates. He got finished by Prates pretty badly. But it's to the body. It's not going to affect him in this fight. Simmelsberger, good power. Kind of fights like an idiot. He makes bad decisions. He has that good power. He's strong. He's athletic. But he doesn't make the most of what he has, to be honest. If he's wrestling, he's going to wrestle when he should be striking. He's going to strike when he should be wrestling. And Radke, he's good all around. Not great, but good. Should be able to get the better with the wrestling. Maybe a bit of a boring clinch-heavy decision, clinch grappling. But I got Radke in this one. All right, let's go to the next one. Mansur Abdul Malik versus Dusko Todorovic. So Todorovic is 2-3 in the UFC, 2 wins by ground and pound TKO, 1 TKO loss, and a pretty nasty knee injury in his last fight. Kind of twisted it, grappling exchange in the clinch. Kind of went down, twisted his knee to the outside, but didn't look like anything that he's not going to recover from. Hopefully he's been putting in some work in the time he's been out. Abdul Malik is pretty new to the UFC. He's 6-0, so not the most experienced. His only decent opponent was a 6-1 on the regional scene, but he did win that fight, and he has 2 straight ground and pound TKOs, so pretty good grappling. I think they'll probably cancel each other out in the grappling because Dusko has pretty good grappling too, plus a lot more UFC experience. So I'm going to go with the experience. I got Dusko with a boring cage clinching decision. All right, next up we got Elizu dos Santos versus Nicholas Dalby. Nicholas Dalby's a slight favorite, minus 105 to minus 115. I think dos Santos might be a little bit overrated. I think that Benoit Saint Denis fight is where he got a lot of the credit for that, because people saw Benoit Saint Denis as like a future champion. A little bit less now, so that win's looking a little less impressive. Still really good, but man, he's 37 now. Nicholas Dalby's 39, so really old matchup right here. Dos Santos, great grappling defense. I don't think grappling is going to play a part in this one at all. I think it'll be really fun, actually. Zaleski dos Santos, he looks a little slow. He's not awful, but I mean, he's 37. He's going to be a little slow. Nicholas Dalby, on the other hand, he still looks fast. He's 39, but still kept a lot of his speed. Neither of these guys are scared to exchange, so I think we're going to see a lot of combinations, and I think Nicholas Dalby's going to get the better of those by far. So I think I got Dalby by taking every round. I don't think he's going to get a finish, but I think he should be able to get a 30-27 decision. All right, moving on, we got Gerald Meerschaert, GM3, versus Reinier De Ridder. Kind of a big one. We got De Ridder's first fight since signing from ONE. He was pretty big in ONE. He did have some losses in ONE. Definitely wasn't the top guy there, but he was one of the top guys. So he's sitting at 12 wins and 0 losses via sub, so definitely a grappling heavy guy. But GM3 has 29 subs. Insane. 35 finishes. It's ridiculous. But these guys are both grapplers. I don't think we'll see much grappling unless one of them gets hurt and the other guy is able to jump on the ground with them. I think De Ridder at this point is just a lot more athletic in his career, especially coming from outside the UFC. Sometimes they don't enforce their steroid testing as much there. They don't in the UFC either. But De Ridder looks okay. He looks like maybe he could be top 10, top 15 in the UFC. I definitely don't think he's making any championship runs, but if you're one of the best in ONE, you'll be able to get in the rankings in the UFC typically. He's powerful, decent cardio. Watching his fight, he almost looks a bit like a less good Duplessis. He's big, he's powerful, he knows what he's doing. He's a little wild. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the 3rd round TKO for De Ridder, maybe a 37-27 decision for him. On to the feature fight, we got Ricky Turcios versus Bernardo Sopaj. Sopaj is a minus 298 favorite. I think that makes sense. He did get KO'd brutally in his last fight against Vinicius Oliveira. Highlight knee, but he's young. He's 24. Turcios is 31. Turcios has a bit of a height and reach advantage, but I mean, Sopaj is one of those little compact, like Ilia Topuria type of guy. Obviously not as good. He's compact, he hits hard, he's quick. Much more finishing potential. Something I always look at, especially when I think it's going to be mostly on the feet like this. Grappling is nothing crazy from either of these guys, but it'll probably be Turcios trying to instigate most of the grappling. Topaj is part of the new generation. He knows how to stuff takedowns. I think he'll be okay right there. So I'm going to go with 29-28 decision for Sopaj. I think Turcios will be able to steal around maybe with some boring grappling. Not like some cage grappling type of stuff. But yeah, I think Sopaj will definitely out-damage Turcios. I think he'll be okay in this one. Alright, on to the co-main event. We got Cody Garbrandt versus Miles Johns. So Miles Johns actually opens as a minus 155 favorite. I think a lot of that, people are assuming he's going to be able to knock Cody Garbrandt out, and it could happen. Cody Garbrandt, obviously, pretty bad chin at this point in his career. Miles Johns is not the most powerful guy or the best striker, but he has some knockouts on his resume. He's a striker. He knows what he's doing. Definitely not as good technically as a Cody Garbrandt, but at this point in his career, you only need to hit him once. I think I'm actually going to go with Cody Garbrandt on this one, though. I think he's hopefully learned his lesson. I know he's not the smartest guy, but hopefully he'll be able to keep it more technical in this one, guard his chin like he needs to. I don't know. I just have a feeling about this one. I think he'll be able to get it. So we're going to go with the underdog, Cody Garbrandt, on this one. All right, and then big main event, Magny versus Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates is a massive minus 650 favorite, which is a little crazy because Magny is, what's the record? He's gone win-loss in 12 fights leading into this one, and he lost his last one, so who knows. But no, I think Prates gets this one. Prates is on a 12-fight win streak. The 6 losses on his record, he's 20-6. They come mostly from really bad grappling he had early in his career, so I wouldn't worry about those too much in this fight. Magny does have some grappling, but he's not a finisher in the grappling. He's nothing crazy. Magny has that ridiculous 80-inch reach, but Prates has a 78-inch reach. It's not going to be that big of a factor here, especially because Prates relies more on his straight punches. So Magny's long arms out guard isn't going to be as effective against that. Like as when he was fighting someone like Mike Mallet, who didn't have as long of a reach, worked really well against him. I can see this going pretty similarly to the Magny versus Ian Gary fight, especially if Prates is able to sink in those low kicks. Prates just has that killer instinct that Ian Gary doesn't have. Ian Gary should have finished that fight. I think Prates definitely can. And Prates has power that Ian Gary doesn't have as well. And I don't think Magny has enough power to make Prates scared of coming in. I think Prates is going to go for him. Maybe he gets taken down. Maybe he's able to work out of it. But I think Prates is going to end up finding him eventually. I got Prates by mid-round TKO. And yeah, that's that.